Welcome back everyone to Pineleaf Plays the Rune-keeper, and it's time for us to head out and work on both the epic story for Book 6 and to start on the Fem quest, and of course to get done by a World War II. We have 4 quests that are currently active. We're not going to get any war claws for viewing the new stone. I believe the war claws I need for those are going to be elsewhere beyond the dread gate that we cannot pass right now, because that's the entire purpose of book 6, is to figure out how to get past the dread gate that's in the middle of Angmar. So Angmar is very unusual in being a zone that is divided into 2 sections, into an east and west area. Now, yes, Rohan is divided into east and west area, but that's quite a number of zones that it's subdivided into. Now, right there, that... Actually, I might as well kill it, because there is actually a deed associated with this, so I might not have the... But generally, this boar is mainly for a quest for the class quest, such as we did earlier when we were killing the guy up in Forkel. This particular... Ouch. This particular boar is for that one, so I forgot which class he uses. I think minstrels. But it's also, there's also a deed associated with it. And obviously, there's a zone that I missed somewhere. The idea is that you're supposed to kill a boar in every zone that existed at the time. And the deed came out probably before... I think it existed before Elvendom came out. That's why they were able to get away with not having boars in Elvendom, is they decided to have boars in every single zone. And they had this particular deed to kill one in every zone. Most likely the zone that's missing, right? Actually, no, because if Eregion is when the zone's in the... Do I have to post? Unfortunately, it's a hidden deed, so I can't just go and look it up and see which zones are included in there. But most likely I am missing the Shire in any case, since I haven't gone around killing boars in the Shire yet, and I need to learn how to turn around and revert while staying and facing... Well, move in the same direction while changing my facing, which is what I really need to do in that case. See if I could practice that. Yeah. So unfortunately, no matter what I do, there's... For when I'm following by someone who's in stealth and suddenly pops up out of nowhere and I say, oh, I'm being chased, and want to find out who they are. Usually I just ignore them. Speaking of ignoring things, I went through all the trouble to get this horse. So I may as well... up this way, I believe. So I may as well take advantage of it. Well, I'm at my location now, so... Let's take care of one more warg, and then we're to go inside of here. So, killing enough wargs is the easy part. As you can see, I'm all pretty close to that already. Now, there's the watching stone I'm trying to take the rubbing of. I think there are a couple more all over the place, but this is the one I normally take since I have to go inside anyway to get those pendants. So I take care of any guards in the outer rim before I go into the dread area. Nothing. Let's see if I can do this without flax, but otherwise I'll get outside the dread area once again. Found the missing. Okay, so now I'm starting to pick up pages again. That's good. Because now I'm in Angmar and not in the Misty Mountains, so I can get a decent number of those. Get my rubbing. Alright, that takes care of that. I think I would go a little bit deeper to start getting the pendants. I think the guards don't carry them. And you see there are a couple of wargs in here also, so I might as well finish up that quest now, so I won't have to worry about the odds of me not finishing the quest are rather low. But I think this is the first guy who actually can have a pendant. No, I guess they want to make sure that people just don't stand at the door, kill mobs at the door, and then say, okay, I got my pendants. Or amulets. Hey, no fair. Double teaming and stunning at the same time. Well, that's what you get for that. Right. Alright, that's 3 of them down. Oh, they each have 1 of each. The drop rate's pretty good once you get to the right area. Alright. Alright, now. Now, we'll be sent in. This is one of those places where you go to several times, which is, of course, typical of early design. See how many times you can go inside of it. I think the idea was to reuse an area as much as possible, since the more you reuse an area, the longer it takes in order to complete the content there. Which is especially important back in the days when there were fewer zones. When the game gets more mature, of course, you start to have places everywhere, more zones and the like. Let's see now. Actually, that might be a better way of handling that. Yeah. Alright, that's my final amulet. So I can get... Well, that's what you get for that. Now, we're out of here. That's the first area I need to go to. Now, that takes care of everybody except the orcs. Now, I'll draw... Oh, come on! Really? Yeah, see? Divide and conquer. Now, you have any pages on you? I'm just looking for a couple of books. No, not a reader, I see. Now, we go out against the orcs, so I better set that as my quest guide focus. And that'll be down this way. I think that little signal somebody's nearby was for a warg that I presume didn't see me since... Always a tricky bit. Well, okay, short injury. And yeah, Angmar Sky is... Well, I'm not sure what all that is. It's a little creepy at least. Whoa, yeah. You're wondering what goes on in there. Something obviously fell is happening. It's definitely not natural in any way. As opposed to where in the Forkhell you have the northern lights going up there, so... You know, it's a rather unusual thing to be playing through in the sky, especially if you're... that one saw me. But at least it's a natural phenomenon. This, though, looks like it's... I'm not even sure what it looks like. But it looks like that it's threatening to rip apart the landscape or something like that. The very firmaments of the sky are being threatened. Alright, so there's the first skirmisher. Alright, so we need to kill warriors and skirmishers. See? Right away we get two skirmishers. Now the captain is inside, so we have to go inside in order to take care of that. Alright, so we will begin. Let's actually begin with some fire for a change. I don't use that enough. I always forget about that. I'm so busy with the lightning that I forget about starting combat with fire on occasion. You can see we're going to get through the skirmishers very quickly. Okay, it's our... fact, here we are. Here's our last skirmisher. Yeah, it's a voice guy. Now here's the captain. Alright, and we'll take care of this warrior. Now, you can go deeper in order to get more warriors. I think you run into more skirmishes and more wargs before you get there. So going all that much deeper just for one more warrior I don't consider to be worth it. Instead, what I normally do is to get out of here. Our friends here have respawned. Now I'm going to go after the skirmisher first. Once I find them. A bit on the annoying side. Yeah, just like Terrible Visage. Just need to remember that I have it. Okay, that takes care of that. And my fort is still in the Misty Mountains. Actually, I am of course forgetting. How am I doing in my orc deed? Orc deed. I at least should remember how I'm doing in my racials. Especially since that'll give me someday, that'll give me a trip to... Alright, I need only 23 more now. I'm not going to be killing 23 more orcs today. Because I think I'm going to have plenty of opportunity to kill orcs in the near future. At least before I need to head over to Rivendell. New deed. Discover. This is one of the few instances, the Halls of the Night, where you actually have to get near the entrance in order to unlock it, in order to be able to run it. The other one that's paired with it is the Inn of the Forsaken, but since that just needs you to get to the Forsaken Inn and to talk to the barkeep there, it's one obviously gets prepared fairly easily. And alright. And just bypass all these wargs. And up here. Well, first, let's talk to Coroner, since that's part of the epic quest. Hello, Coroner.
What can I do for you?
You have returned. Did you bring the rubbing? Good. Let's see it.
What do you need?
These runes are of an elvish mode, but the language is the black speech in which I am not well versed. But I do know a little, and I can see that these runes speak of a heart located within the stone. Perhaps if I could study one of the stone hearts, a way to undo the spell upon them can be found. There are some lifeless stones east of here from which you may collect such a heart without fear. Bring me a stone heart, and quickly as you may, so that it may be done with. We may be done with our duty. All right. So now we need a stone. Now these usually. So these have to be taken from the middle of the swamp, from the Malenhad. And that's quite a distance from here. And I'd have to go out of my way in doing that, so that's one thing to consider. The other thing to consider is before I return to that fortress, to Tar Golven, I would like to have that done because Tar Golven happens to have the quest. Happens to be where you go to after you go to Malenhad. So therefore, alright. Well, okay, I'll double check on the order. There might be one small place after that, but so what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably take the Fem quest as far as I can without being sent back into the place where the Hillmen are, and when it sends me back there, then I'll have to go and get the stone.
You are a stranger to these lands.
Or, We'll see. You have done very well against the wargs. I'll tell Crannog of your victory. Yay.
The hills of Angmar are not friendly to the unwary.
My brothers will be pleased by your services in their honor, Pinestone. I will give you thanks in the stead of them slaying of the Sorks of Morphil. For my part, I believe you are trustworthy. Good. And we get some potions.
The Trave Duvardine serve the Iron Crone.
The evil lords of Angmar must be very displeased now with the Trev Duvardane that were given Tol Gavran, for you have bloodied their noses with your attack. I will tell Crannog of your success, and he will have no doubt of it, the amulets and pendants seeing of your victory. Yes. And we get some jewelry for that. A new necklace, which has more vitality, will, maximum morale, just all this lovely stuff that good. We'll take that, and we also get a few madams here, so we're still collecting madams. Here we have Loop of the Sankris, which gives us some fate, morale, power. Well, I like the Ring of the Rockworm. I'm definitely keeping that. Yeah, I'm not using that one. And Gem of the Sankris, which is a pocket item, which has vitality, will, maximum morale, maximum power, and 24 power. But I don't think I need that power all that much, so I'm going to keep the inscribed horn. So therefore, we won't change that around.
Greetings, Sathron.
I've been told of your successes. You have taken the first step of this path, but the road is winding, and you have just begun to walk upon it. Not all need to be suspicious as I, for it is the duty of the chieftain to be guarded in all dealings with outsiders. Finan, east of here, in the center island of Olgar, has heard of your victories and wishes to speak with you. But that is Finan. I am not yet certain of your worth. So I get my first piece of Fem, which is the Slippers of Fem, which is twice the armor, agility for some weird reason, but it does have will, it does have more vitality, and the beginning of my Fem set, so
Would you lend me a moment of your
it's
time?
a major upgrade. And that's it for today, and next time we will go into Crannog's second challenge, where he will give us 3 more tasks. And we'll see what they are in our next episode of Pineleaf Plays, the Rune-keeper.